account. We're going to start with breaking news out of Japan tonight, where the country's former prime minister has been shot. 67-year-old Shinzo Abe was at a campaign event when it happened. His injuries are considered critical. His heart stopped on the way to the hospital. Sources say police have arrested a suspect. Abe was Japan's longest-serving prime minister. He resigned in 2020 due to health problems. And here at home, police are looking for the driver who hit an elderly woman crossing the street, then took off from the scene. It happened right outside Providence St. Vincent Hospital just before 8 o'clock tonight. The Washington County Sheriff's Office says the woman was there visiting her husband. She is said to have serious injuries. Surveillance video gave deputies a look at the crash and the car the driver was in. They're searching for it right now, but so far they're not releasing the description to the public. Barnes Road is closed in the area, but not impacting emergency traffic into St. Vincent's. New tonight, if you see a motorcycle that looks like the American flag, it might belong to a Gresham veteran. Someone stole it today. And as Alma McCarty found out, it's much more than a bike. It's the way he continues to honor and serve.
Multiple times a week, if not multiple times a day, Edwin Anderson can be found with his fellow veterans.
I spent 20 years in the Navy. I sailed on 5 ships, stationed in 3 countries, spent 13 months in Antarctica.
He's a member of the Patriot Guard Riders. The group's mission is to honor service members and veterans.
It seems simple. A bunch of guys come out, stand with flags, and then we leave. But for the families, it really means something special. Whether there's 2 of us, I've done missions with just 2 of us, or there's 50 of us.
Outside PDX Thursday, the volunteers stand holding flags high to remember the life of a 24-year-old who was serving in the Navy. He died in a crash in Virginia Beach. His body returned home to his family in Oregon. Among the Patriot Guard's other missions, attending the funeral services of fallen American heroes.
Just asked me if I was available Monday. We got 2 missions Monday up at Willamette, and I said, yeah, I'm available, so I'll be taking the car.
Normally, the 75-year-old veteran would take his motorcycle, this 2011 Honda Shadow Aero with stars and stripes.
Well, that's a good paint job. It's not a paint job, it's a wrap.
He says his bike was stolen from right outside his apartment in Gresham, from this complex on 2700 Powell Boulevard. He noticed it was gone early Thursday morning as he was preparing to head out to Willamette National Cemetery.
Came out with my flags for the mission, and the parking space was empty. My neighbor said she went out for a cigarette at 3 o'clock and it was there. When she left for work at 5:30, the bike was gone. And I think they picked it because of the way it looked.
Anderson reported the theft to Gresham Police and to his insurance company. He's hoping for the motorcycle's return, though he has his doubts.
Like losing a family member. It really was. There was an empty spot right here.
Bike or no bike, his mission and service continue.
Take care of it. Don't strip it, ride it.
Now, we don't know if police have made any progress finding the motorcycle. They did not return our requests for more information today. We'll update you when we learn more. Laurel?
Oh, let's hope somebody spots it and he gets it back. Thank you, Alma. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines, President Biden is expected to take executive action tomorrow to protect some abortion access. That's new from the Associated Press tonight. The order focuses on reducing potential penalties women seeking abortion might face following the Supreme Court ruling. The president is also expected to direct federal institutions to push back on efforts to limit interstate travel for abortion access or efforts to block access to abortion medication. A warning out about a potentially dangerous missing man. 41-year-old Christopher Hall left his residential treatment home in Gresham early this morning. In 2019, he held a woman hostage at knife point by a McDonald's on West Burnside and was found guilty except for insanity. He was then sentenced to 20 years at the Oregon State Hospital, but was conditionally released to the group home. Hall was last seen in Northeast Portland between MLK and Grand this afternoon. If you see him, contact police immediately. And Portland police are looking for the suspect or suspects who shot and killed a woman on Northeast 148th and Burnside. This happened about 11 o'clock last night. Police say a man also suffered minor injuries in the shooting and was taken to the hospital. The shooting shut down a Max Blue line at the time. Families in a southeast Portland neighborhood are concerned for their safety as more houseless people move in. Some are breaking into vacant homes. Blair Best checked out the situation.
It's in this neighborhood along Southeast 67th Avenue where neighbors have been living on edge for the past several weeks after those experiencing homelessness have moved in to 2 vacant homes.
And it's unbearable to watch your whole city become a dumpster fire.
It's a living nightmare. There is no peace of mind. There is no sleeping well at night. Every little noise, I'm jumpy.
Dustin Shannon and his family have lived in this neighborhood for 19 years. His backyard is next to this vacant house, which he says has been empty for over a year. Now, a group of houseless people have moved in.
It just gets worse and worse by the day. More and more of them are showing up. Stolen cars are showing up. They've got a pile of garbage out back that is taller than me.
He often picks up needles and trash from this path behind his house, one he used to let his grandson play in.
And now we really can't let him do that any longer.
Like, my children can't walk in the neighborhood safely anymore.
Annette Benedetti lives next door. She often hears gunshots and has had people run through her yard.
Because I hear them something knocking on this side of my wall last night. So I don't sleep a lot.
Both neighbors have called the police with little response, so they've taken it into their own hands.
We've barricaded our back door now at this point, kind of blocked it off. We're not gun proponents, but we've invested in that. I've got a security system now in place. I actually keep a bat at both my back and front door.
Portland police records show 3 calls to this neighborhood this year, 2 premise checks and a suspicious circumstances call. Sergeant Kevin Allen tells KGW they sympathize with neighbors who feel unsafe, but want to remind people that they are severely short-staffed and that they address life safety and major crimes first. Other issues, like the ones in this neighborhood, either have to wait or can't be addressed at all.
It's not okay. Something needs to be done about all of it.
And I'm just here to sleep. I'm just here to sleep.
Bridget Miller is 27 years old. She lives in this RV with her husband, which they park in this neighborhood.
I work for a living. I don't just sit here and do drugs and mess up everybody's all day. And it ruins my reputation. And it's hard for me because everybody hates me already without knowing me.
She was plugging her AC into this vacant home. At around noon today, the property maintenance manager told her to leave.
And it sucks. Really sucks.
Whoever broke in told this person that was squatting out in front that they could park here and use the power, except that it's not their building to allow that.
This man does property maintenance in houses across the city. He says this house on Southeast 67th Ave had been broken into and showed us evidence of people staying there.
This bag's full of garbage. The city of Portland is doing almost nothing except pushing people around.
The thing that's frustrating is there's solutions, and our local government isn't doing anything.
As for Miller, she's off to find the next neighborhood to call home.
We're trying to get an apartment because it hurts my pride, really. I'm not a bad person.
In Southeast Portland, Blair Best, KGW News.
Many who are concerned about our homeless crisis are worried that someone living on the streets who looks calm might suddenly fly into a violent rage. Just over a week ago, a man who's homeless and diagnosed as bipolar was accused of severely beating 2 80-year-old men waiting at the bus stop in downtown Portland. Our team on the story has been examining the bigger system failures that are keeping people from getting the mental health treatment they need. Here's Pat Doris.
I know that many people who are homeless are not violent and not dangerous, but some are. And many of the ones who are don't get the care they need. Many, when they do have a crisis, end up in emergency rooms. I spoke with Dr. Sharon Myron, an emergency room doctor who's also a Multnomah County commissioner.
We need changes in the whole continuum of care, because the problem is we don't have the right services available for people at the right time. And so they end up in crisis because they don't get the services they need beforehand before going to the emergency department. They end up in crisis and then there's nowhere for them to go. And that, including places to go either other than the state hospital or from the state hospital.
Myron says the system is bad at helping people early on when their mental health problems first begin. Another issue, even when people get into treatment and get on medication that stabilizes them, there is often not enough care after that to keep them going. So what needs to change to make it easier for people who are chronically homeless and have mental illness to get help?
Number one, working on criteria to be able to treat people if they're incapable of making medical decisions and they pose a risk to themselves or others, or even if they don't, but they are so disabled that they are unable to care for themselves. And we see a lot of people who are like that living outside. So we need to change our statutes to meet the needs.
Myron said state lawmakers are studying the question now to see what they could do in the next legislative session, but that will take time. I spoke earlier this week with the executive director of the Oregon chapter of the National Alliance on Mental Illness. He pointed out how hard it is to commit someone and get them help against their will. You can find that interview and much more of my discussion with Dr. Myron. It's up now in the story section of the KGW YouTube channel.